All right, let's see if we can get the old chat up here. Doom, 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 doom. All right, why can't I see myself live? No bueno, no bueno. Pretty sure we're live though. Let's go ahead and put that brightness up. Maybe I'll have to read the chat from here. All right. Do we have some cold press left? We do not. We've got hot press. So that is what we're rolling with today. Boom, 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 boom. Mm, mm, mm. Hello, Mel. Trying to get to my own live here on the iPad, but it's not showing me live for some reason. Did you have any issues? Sass, what's up? What's up? What's up? Let's exit this guy and try to go back up. If I miss a hello, I'm sorry. Hello to all. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. All right, now we're gold. Now I can see chat. Notifications on. Did it actually show up? If it showed up, cool. Very excited about this just because like I get to kind of chill back a little bit and I don't have to sing the whole time. Probably still gonna hum the melodies. This is a playlist I don't really know well yet. So be a lot of guesswork. Still strange that you can't actually see the chat persistently as you're live. Like, why wouldn't they want that? Do they not want you interacting with people? Ta-ra. The worst, the best. Yeah, no mirror for this. I want to be able to show off the palette. I'd rather show the palette than show my face. Boom, 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 boom. I think that's a little bit more educational. Glad to see you can comment there, Tara. I think there's a few on Patreon right now because I can tell they're not commenting yet. If you're on Patreon watching this, hit that little YouTube logo on the bottom right, and it'll open the app so you can chat with us. I've got extremely way too much cold brew in me today. I am jittery, but should make for some really loose strokes. This is just kind of winging it on some winter scenes. I think we're gonna go do like a Johnny ratio, and we'll do like a winter sky first. Maybe some like dusty trees. So what I want to do is create this little back hill back here. Back hill of snow. I do want to put some foreground here, so maybe we'll put in a few little trees here. I just like those foreground trees a lot, actually. I'm not sure if you can or not. Just a little squiggly tree there. What we'll do is kind of put some bushes around this guy here. Maybe one tree. And we could do like this back tree line here. And we'll just put this kind of foreground here. Because I really just want to play with some skies for a little bit, loosen up a little bit. Haley, how are you, my friend? What did you guys think about the old color theory reel today? Was that pretty good? Lori, if you're on the Patreon app, hit that bottom right YouTube and it'll bring you over here to where you can chat with us in YouTube. Emily, Fanny, how are you? I don't think that worked. Okay, so what we got so far is a skinny tree in the foreground. Maybe we'll put another little dead tree here. Like that. Maybe some bushes there. Oh, there's Lori. Nice. I'm trying to watch the notifications come in, because if you comment on Patreon, it shows like a notification. Okay, so we do have a far tree line here. We've got some sky we can play around with. Why you have mixed pans of full and half? Don't make me OCD about it. So right now what I've got is I found some tubes of the super granulating whole schminke. So that's what these are. This is the Shire colors. It goes into the volcano. I got 3 of the volcano colors. Glacial. There's one other one in here. I think desert. I think 5 Shires, 1 desert, 3 volcanoes, and 2 glaciers. Do I see a Sherry in here? Oh, Sherry is Sherry in here. What's up, Shannon? So I think we're just going to play for a little bit. I'm going to create it kind of like this scene here, but just more snowy. So we'll put some cool blues, some purples. Still trying to decide on this palette what colors I want to keep. I already took the black out because I'm not going to use the black ever. Yeah, the schminkas have been good to me so far, I have to admit. And it's funny because like I'm at a point in my art where I don't feel uncomfortable using them, because they're expensive. They're really expensive. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. You know I don't push paints on anybody because you know my mind changes every week. But these have definitely been something else. I wouldn't say they're like 1,000 times better than anything else, but I do like the way they dry a lot. Yeah, their granulation's kind of, it's light. And I've explained that before with like a couple people where I think these other companies like Rockwell are able to put in these kind of weird mixes that are maybe not light fast, whereas Schminke actually cares about that, so that makes sense. Wasted a lot of Schminke. I really try not to. I just let you know when I'm having fun with something for sure, or if it's trash. All right, what kind of sky do we want to do here? I know I have some salt around here. I did bring salt into the room. Brought salt to the reel today. All right, where is the salt? I definitely had salt. I wonder if the wife picked it up by chance. Are you going to recreate the photo that was on Patreon? Oh, I did post a photo, didn't I? I mean, I guess we can. I'm trying to think of what it was. It was just like it was a landscape with 2 like rice mills, right? I use Mappa paints. Y'all let me know if Becca comes in here. I have a package from Becca. I need to open it, and I keep meaning to open it while she's in here. Oh, there it is. Okay, we're good. I don't need to leave. We use the old Morton salt here. I've been looking at Schminke paint since before I followed you, Johnny. It's not your fault. Yeah, it's normally not my fault. I don't want to hear it. All right, let's have some fun. That's what painting's all about. And we're going to try to make this easy. I don't feel like I've been doing enough kind of easier stuff to have fun with. I say we use a ton of salt on this. That's my ultimate goal here. We're going to throw the chunk. Let's get the old chunk ready. Still a favorite wash brush of mine. And it does fit into like a red Solo cup or a coffee cup. So it's really good for like space-wise. I like that it's short. I wish I could get them to do like a 1-inch version of their hockey brush. I know y'all have seen those where it's just like a bare handle on it. Their 1 inch is huge. So I'm just kind of covering up this hill right here. Get the paper nice and soaked. As I heard before today, Johnny didn't love Schminke. It's not that I didn't love it. It's just it was expensive. I do want to use some of that glacial blue. So maybe what we'll do, since I do have a ton of ultramarine kind of hanging around, I've got this burnt sienna mix from that Color Theory reel. And what I'm going to do is just turn that more blue. So this is ultramarine, burnt sienna. Add a little bit of water to that. I want this almost like in a milky consistency. I've got a big tube of the ultramarine, so I think we're good on that one. Their tubes really aren't bad, though. I think it was like 16 bucks for the tube. 15 mil, so it's not like terribly expensive for the tube. Nice. Yeah, I'm loving this season. This season is fun for me because it's a lot of blues and browns, and I'm totally down with that. Let's do that glacial. I'm gonna throw it up here. These were in half pans already, and that activated pretty good. I'm gonna use the brown too. Okay, so let's get some more water on this. All that talking and BS and got my paper dry. Shannon, have you used any salt yet? I'm gonna use a ton of salt on this one. Yeah, salt's kind of the best for that. I still like water a little bit more. I don't know if I want to leave clouds in this. I kind of want this to kind of do its thing. This is the granulating paint, so maybe let that flow out a little bit. It's got some red tint to it. That's pretty cool, actually. I guess it activated really good. And I'm just kind of keeping the flow going this way for the most part. A little bit more blue up here. Staying loose with it. All right, then we've got our ultramarine and burnt sienna mix. More ultramarine than burnt sienna. What I'm gonna do is bring in some dark blues. I don't really care if it flows down too much. I just want some of that white left. Just kind of doing a little line here, maybe a little bit of push. And straight blue. And we're gonna keep the sky super loose. Did we find out if liking the live did anything on YouTube? I can't remember. Let's get the old paper towel. What I'm gonna do is use the brush instead of the paper towel to soak up some of this blue that's kind of creeping down on me a little bit. It's a little bit softer. Kind of like what that's doing. I might leave that. Looks like that cloud's kind of drifting a little bit. That glacial blue is kind of cool. I might have to end up getting that set. I've got the Tundra set coming tomorrow, or Saturday, should I say. That's what I left the 5 spots for. All right, I didn't like that as much as I said I did. I'm not gonna lie to you. We got a little bit of lifting here. There we go. All right, now we're gonna leave that alone. So really what I wanna do down here, while this is still semi-wet, I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the water with the brush. So I don't want this flaring into the sky too much. I do have some buckling going on. Not a big deal. I see where the channel's at, so I'm just not gonna put a whole lot of paint there. And what we'll do is maybe we'll do those trees in the back with that glacial brown into that blue. Let's see what that does. Water that down just a little bit. Let's see if we can get some. Yeah, see there's still a lot of water there. It's fine. We'll rock with it for a while. All we're doing is creating that tree line. When it's super light. There's some bigger guys back here. The easy trees is what we call these. Dude, isn't it nice? Like, it's not like that black quill. It's not like the squirrel quill. It's got some body to it. It doesn't hold a ton. If y'all hear me moving the camera around, I'm sorry. Just trying to get better shots for social medias. Chels. All right, let's throw some of that glacial blue in there. Create some darker tones if we can. I'm gonna go a little bit thicker on it. Push a few more lines. And we're gonna use salt on this tree line too. You don't have to really overthink this part of it. This is the easy part. That's a lie. I don't love YouTube. Stop. All right, where's my salt at? What I'm gonna try to do is get it just on the tree line. Kind of want to create some highlights with it. Really just going where I put that color at. It's actually rolling off my paper. They want some brushy looking trees. That was way too slow. And of course we eat the rest of the salt. We can kind of let that dry. So I will keep most of this white. Boom, 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 boom. It's gotta be copyright free, Chels. Like the Insta. What we can do is start building our shadow a little bit. I'm gonna take that blue and burnt sienna mix. We can either water this down a ton, which I'm liking so far. It kind of looks like lavender-esque. I don't have a lavender in this palette yet. I don't think Schmincke makes a lavender. They make like a ultramarine purple. And a touch of, let's go with like a cooler red, like a permanent carmine. Not a whole lot of it, because I do want this purple kind of dull. And I'm gonna water it down a ton because I do not want to lose the white of my paper. The trees are about here. So what I'm gonna do is throw in a few shadows on this backside here and a few textures. And then I want to throw a real strong shadow, which I might do with, that glacial's kind of light for it. Let's go back with ultramarine. I'm gonna mix it into that granulating mix we've got. I might even add a little bit of that brown to it, glacial brown. But I want this to lean more blue for sure. This should add some texture with that granulation. All right, so what we're gonna do is take that watered down purple. I want to be precise, but also loose. So I just want to kind of throw some strokes in here. Where we can kind of show that there's immediate ground here. A little bit of texture. And while that's wet, I'm going to throw that dark in here, maybe a little bit more blue to that. I want this pretty thick because I don't want it bleeding into that water that I just put down. And looks like our light's going to be coming this way, so we'll take this guy and a little shadow there from those trees. Now we're going to have some bushes here. We can also kind of throw in a little bit of scratchiness there, keeping everything semi-loose for the most part. How you guys manage these bigger color palettes? Would be too many options. That is a problem when you first start out, kind of. It does happen. The big thing is, like, learn a limited palette first is what I always say, and then start buying shit. All right, let's put a few little hills going through here. Like where that's at. So I want this to look like a hill on top, and it kind of scoots down into this little gully. I might even throw a little bit of that brown in there, watered down, just to throw in some different tones. And for the foreground, actually, I want a little bit more saturation. So ultramarine, that brown, touch of that carmine, a few dark shadows up here. All right, do like where that's at. We'll separate this hill kind of up here. Ooh, some cocoa. I just realized that they make hot cocoa K-cups. I'm playing a little bit. I really shouldn't, but I do want to get some kind of separation between these two hills. I'm liking the way the trees are looking so far. That's still kind of wet. We can get away with some scrapes here. I don't know if I have anything that's great besides my nose ring for a scrape. So let's see if we got... I've got these little embossing tips, but they might be too thick. Let's try it out. Oh, I want some hot cocoa. How dare y'all. So what we'll do is kind of put a few little guys in here. And with that granulation, I'm hoping it kind of sticks in. These little grooves we're making with this embossing tool. You can do you can use a stick for this. Boom, boom, boom. So far, I'm liking where the sky's at. Really happy with that. Not with milk. Blech. Yeah. Yeah, don't do that to me, please. Terrible, terrible decision. Even when I have a bigger palette, I don't use them all. Usually 6 or 7 colors. Yeah, it's... I will say I bought like a 48 color set. I can't even remember what brand it was because I just stopped using it. There's a lot to it. All right, I like where this is at. We can go ahead and dry it. Chelsea mute if you don't mind. Yeah, cocoa powder and water. That's the way to go. No, no milk. I hate milk. Not that I hate milk. I don't like milk with hot chocolate. That glacial color, that might be a new favorite sky color. I'm telling you, milk's gross, and y'all know it. I'm telling you, it's too rich with the milk. It's way too rich with the milk. Listen, do you think our military has milk in the field? No, when they get chocolate drink, they do it with water. There's a reason. That salt's really making me want to try something else after this. See, I don't like it with the milk. I'm telling you, it's too rich. You do milk and water, Shannon? No shot. No, see, I was always told... Well, you know what? I had a traumatic experience, too. Like, when I was younger, a glass exploded of milk and hot chocolate in the microwave one time when I was younger. It wasn't me, but, like, it just freaked me out enough where I don't want milk hot, ever. Like, Saturday for market, I'm gonna have hot chocolate in a big ass mug with water. What are we thinking about that sky? Should cocoa powder just cocoa powder, or does it have powdered milk in it? I don't know. It's the Swiss Miss, so it's probably got like a little bit of powdered milk, I'm sure. Yeah, I've never tried steamed milk. That is one thing I've never tried. Now the wife does like the frother. Just don't know what it does, if I'm being honest. I don't know how that changes the cream. Sky needs a sleigh. I always slay. At this point, it's just a milk. All right, let's get the old liner brush out. Let's have some fun with this one. Kind of want to put some light on these trees a little bit. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna build those bushes with that weird glacial brown, which looks more like a raw umber almost. Wait, why Sherry's message get retracted? What'd you do? Boom, 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 boom. Let's go a little bit lighter. We'll do yellow ochre. Just to throw a different color in here. I'm gonna decide if I want to do the tree trunks. Let's brush that salt out the way. That's the one thing I hate about salt. It gets everywhere. All right, so a little bit of this yellow ochre. And all I want to do is push out a few of these little bushes here. I might actually throw some salt in this guy too. I'm not too sure yet. I'm kind of just playing with where it's at. And we'll throw some of that weird greenish brown. Like that. That's pretty good. Maybe a little bit bushier. Yeah, I dig that a lot actually. More salt. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Like right here on the jump of it. A few lighter tones from the bushes. Being extremely loose with these little guys here. I do like that we did that yellow ochre. I think that's going to be pretty nice. Johnny, I have someone who wants 50 Christmas cards from one of my paintings. Can I text you after? Yeah, absolutely, dude. What I might do here, I'm going to mix all three of these for the tree. This is actually going to be kind of fun. So that glacial blue, that glacial brown, and that yellow ochre. And what I want to do is water down that yellow ochre a lot. It's going to be kind of our base color on this. And we'll kind of push down this way. I'm going to move kind of fast on this guy just because I know my time is short on hot press without getting like any kind of hard lines. And I'm going to throw that brown in there. This should actually kind of piece in a wee bit of light. And then that blue towards this back end. We'll just kind of dab it in, get some tree texture there. All right. I like that. It's pretty good. Same thing. We're going to go ahead with that light brown there. I do want to put like a little stick coming off of this guy. Maybe a little bit sharper point. I can always throw more blue up here to create some of that shadow. Really digging where this is at. I don't know about you guys, but maybe a little drop of water in there. And back with that little sepia-ish brown. My liner is not thinning out for me enough right now, so thickening back this way. You don't want the tip of your branches to be thicker than the actual base, so we'll rock that out a little bit more. I like that. Maybe a little bit of blue. Create some of those shadows. She's got more money than she wants to do it. How do I link someone? Are you talking about like coming to the YouTube? Ooh, Tara says she's pretty. I like it. I'll have to agree with you on that one. You guys are all gorgeous. Alright, maybe a little bit more yellow on this guy since he's a little bit closer. That little brown spot there on the left side of it. A little sketchy. And maybe I want to do the same branch, so we'll kind of skin this guy out just a little bit. Now that brown's a little too thick on this side, so I'm gonna take that down just a notch with some water. And then back with that blue. And back into this. More deep brown down here. I pull off some of those roots there. God, Fanny, that's the longest response I ever got from that one. I just say that if it's good for our troops, it's good for us. I'm gonna mix that glacial blue with that glacial brown. I'm gonna lean it more towards the glacial blue. It's making kind of a gray. What I might do is throw some ultramarine in there. I want a dark here with that liner. This one's drying on me a little bit, which is good because we can go ahead and throw in a few more little dark sparks in here. Just want to show up that dark side of the tree. Maybe a little dancing guy around here. More like that. Pretty good. Little brushes there. And a sleigh, right? I don't know why y'all want me to put flying stuff in my stuff. I'll take that glacial brown, touch of that blue we've got there, thin that out a little bit. I don't want this to be really thick paint. What I want to kind of do was just throw in a few of these little tree limbs, tree trunks. Because it looks like a Christmas scene. Because you're a Santa Claus. I'm not a Santa Claus. Alright, good there. Alright, I like where that's at. What I'll do is take that brown. You can definitely see the green undertones in that brown. It's kind of a cool mix, honestly. And all I want to do here is throw some texture. So I'm going to dab off a little bit of that paint here. And we'll throw some dirt in this foreground here. Just to warm it up just a hair. I'm going to take that blue. I want to make that shadow a little bit stronger. There we go. Yeah, a little bit more on that. push. Yeah, I like it with it. Kind of moved it that way, right? That glacial blue is pretty, y'all. Not gonna lie. Maybe a few little dark spots in here. That line was a little strong. And this line's a little strong for me, so I'm gonna take a wet brush and kind of just swipe it out a little bit. Maybe a few more little spots here. Reindeer hooves in the snow. I kind of thought about footprints just now, honestly. Mess of a fall scene is awful, but I'm going to post it anyway. Yeah, you should. Look, they're not all masterpieces, dude. Be happy. Be happy you painted. I do feel like we need like one more branch. So I'm going to flatten this guy out a little bit more, and maybe, what am I seeing here? A little composition work. Thanks for making me watch Minka paints. Like I said, I've had this one for a long time, dude. I was like, I'm gonna wait until I get like a big commission. It'll be worth it. Screw it. They're paints. They're not getting used. Maybe a little bit of that brown. And I don't want to get this all over the hill, but I do want to get some little drippy droppies for some texture there. This guy flicks back at me is the only problem. So I end up with a bunch of paint right there on my hand. This is lulling you to sleep. It's supposed to be like a laid back mix. It doesn't feel like it is. Well, I say that. It feels a little bit too laid back, maybe. Let's see what else we got here. There's Harry Potter, but that one was pretty tough. I think they got the jazz ones too. I need to find a good jazz board on here. Springtime instrumentals. Let's see. This one. Oh, there we go. Now we're going to sleep. I love it. And all lives till Christmas. Ding, ding, ding. Presents that fell out of the sleigh. Everybody needs more Christmas. Let's see. Yeah. I can see that. It got me good. Yeah, we're putting up our tree like right after Thanksgiving. All right, I think this one's pretty much done. What do we think? I like where it's at. I want to try something else with the salt. That's a pretty easy scene too. Not a whole lot to it. A little bit of foreground, some saturation, some trees, some salt. It wouldn't be right if everything worked well. I don't know why the speaker's doing that thing, but we'll roll with it. I like it. It's nice and cute there. Yeah, doing another one. Let's do it. We've only been live for what? 45 minutes? I do want to do this one on cold press. I hope I have a cold press left. I'm pretty sure I got a 300 pound. Welcome to the live, by the way, Lacey. Welcome to the community. Make yourself at home. Tell everybody your name, your social security number, and credit card information if you don't mind. We just like to keep track of birthdays for the most part. That was a fun one. You should paint my sky. Dude, that's a beautiful sky. I'm gonna have to look at that sky for a while. What I like that is that everything else is silhouetted except for that. Was that the road that had that bright sun on it? A snowman? A snowman? Yes, with a Santa hat. I want to do a big ass tree here. I do miss me some Fleetwood Mac on YouTube, but we're gonna wait. I might go to not YouTube, sorry, TikTok. I might go to TikTok after this. I feel like I stirred up enough shit earlier that maybe somebody will come in there and tell me they're selling Chinese stuff because they're just living a dream. We could do a Christmas tree. I'll show you how I do a Christmas tree. I don't use the gouache or the masking fluid anymore. It's kind of just a really loose tree, honestly. Expires 2019. I love it. I absolutely love it. Should I do the triangle tree? I'll do it. I'm gonna do the triangle tree on TikTok. How about that? Scary 3, 2, 1. Christmas time. Better let me join you on the triangle tree. You don't want to be associated with me, dude. 20 bucks? Oh, I can do a lot with 20 bucks. It's at least 1 tube of paint, so that's 15 mils of paint. Yeah, I can do a lot of paintings with 1 tube. All right, let me do my idea first before I lose it. What I want to do here is create some big ass trees. So we'll do like just a little hill in the foreground here. And I don't really need anything crazy. What is that going to be big enough for what I want to do? That might not be big enough, but we're going to do it anyways. All right, let's get the chalk out. I think we're going to use that glacial blue again. Maybe a little bit of that phthalo green could be really cool with it. Pun intended. This is cold press. I need some movement here, so I'm going to soak the hell out of it. And what I'll do is, worst case scenario, I'll flip it if I have to. T-Rex holding a present. Y'all better stop. You better stop. All right, let's see what kind of movement we can get here. What I want to do is get a lot of that glacial blue. I'm going to water it down a little bit so it moves maybe a little bit more. I want this really big. And we'll kind of piece it in around this guy. I want to use that phthalo green a lot. So maybe some trees. They're doing their thing around here. God, that looks pretty, doesn't it? Fanny, they might not be as dramatic as Rockwell's, but they feel a hell of a lot more fun. So we got some phthalo green here. I'm gonna throw in that same mix. All I want to do here is create a few little bushes, a few little other trees. Being extremely loose here. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take this all the way down. Like I said, I don't think I had enough space to do what I really wanted to do here. So we'll create the underbrush of the trees. Maybe even some darks. Let's get that brown in there. We're playing. We are totally playing here. rough spots here. While that's still wet, I'm going to throw in ultramarine just because it's my favorite and I have a ton of it. Yeah, I think that'll look really good against it. Just throw some ultramarine in here. I'm going to leave kind of a white space for the most part just so I can watch where this is moving in. Like that a lot. That's pretty good there. Break in some of these tree splits here. I like where this is at so far. All right, now here's the fun part. We're gonna pour a shit ton of salt on these trees while it's still kind of wet. I don't want to get it in the sky so much, but I want some serious salt play. Liberal salt play. A lot of it. Not me eating salt. All right, I do what I like that's at. Let's do, maybe for the snow, let's do Naples. Naples kind of looks like Jaune Brilliant in this palette. And what I'll do is kind of just bring in pretty close to the tree bottoms here. And we'll get some of that dirty blue water. And create a little bit of shadow there. And a little bit of that brown while that's all kind of wet. I'm really hoping the salt does what I want it to do. All right, very cool. I like that a lot. More salt. A little bit of water here, let everything kind of drain down. And what I'll do while that's still wet, I'm gonna take some sepia. Straight sepia, pretty thick mix. With a little bit of that glacier brown, just for that green that it's got. And all I want to do is connect this. I probably should do this with the liner. Honestly, I want some skinny lines. I'm going to talk probably in a half hour. So all this is still decently wet. What I'm gonna do is take that brown, thick brown. All I want to do is skinny little lines in this thing. Bring this together a little bit more. See that blue kind of dried on me a little bit, not a big deal. But we can do a little bit more brown in there. This is really loose Johnny here. I don't even think my wrist is touching the board right now. Maybe a little bit of that lighter brown too. Yeah, let's get some of that dark brown back in here. Just to get a few more separation of these trees. Truthfully, loose as hell. Grace, what is up? I need that salt to do its thing, basically. What are we thinking so far? Kind of wicked looking, isn't it? I want to leave that salt, but I also want to throw some water at it. Because I feel like it's not going to be wide enough to what I want. Can I see that one type of special art paint hair dryer thing that you use? Yeah. It's this guy. Well, shit, I'm showing the wrong camera. The Chandler 2-speed. It's just a craft heat gun. That's all it is. What are we talking about, Christmas? Speaking of which, we need to figure out the Patreon Christmas party. I think it's going to end up being after Christmas, sadly. This doesn't look as winter as I wanted it. No, it's just a regular heat gun. I'm going to try to dab out some of this white while the salt's in there. Just because I want a little bit more white to it. Yeah, maybe I should have just went more white. But I wanted that salt effect to give me the white too. Have you ever used an embossing heat tool thingy? No, I haven't. I've never done that. Yeah, I agree. I think our community translates a lot, dude. Lift with a brush. I panicked. Oh, with the salt with the brush. No. Christmas dino. Maybe that's what I'll put in my triangle tree as a dinosaur. I'm really just playing with the colors on this palette because I'm still, like I said, I'm not sure exactly where I want to lean this palette. Like, there's a few colors I really don't like for sure. Ivory black is gone. I don't like painting with black at all. Manganese violet, like I almost want to put that out with like an ultramarine violet maybe, because that's such a pink purple for me. Like I could mix that color and be fine with it. We've got two decent yellows. That orange is something else. I do want to play with that orange a little bit more. No, this is the Schminke palette. Schminke. I did have Senneliers on this side, but that's been replaced with more Schminke super granulating. And these cores are gone too. Super Schminke. Alright, let's dry this guy. I don't have a whole lot of time. Mayonnaise violet. The manganese. Yeah, the manganese. Not even let me say it. The manganese violet looks more pink purple than like a diox. What paints do you really like, Shannon? Like, have you found a brand that you really kind of touch to? Manganese. But you said you're painting with Daniel Smith, right? I'd get a primary, 3 primaries from a couple different brands and see which one kind of throws you away. Core is a really good one to really fun to play with. It's really saturated paint. Daniel Smith is a good one. Schmick is expensive, sort of. M-Gram's good, but it's honey based, so if you travel a lot, it's not the best. Man, there's so many out there though. Winsor Newton, pretty safe with those paints. Am I leaving anybody off that light? You said you got the Cotman though, right? Like the Cotman's still fine. It's just not as light fast, and the binder's a little different compared to their professional paints. There's really nothing wrong with Cotman, honestly. So you think the Rose is better than Cotman's? I could see that. Rosa, I think, is close to White Knights and all that. God, I'm gonna have salt everywhere. This is gonna kind of suck a little bit. I don't want to hit that with a damp paper towel, but look how much salt. I blame Shannon on this one. Look at that. Holy hell, that's stuck on the paper. End up rubbing up all the paint. The salt has recrystallized. Yeah, Rose is good. White Knights is really cheap, and I find their paints are really good, actually. Where are you located at, Shannon? You're in the States, right? I'm still feeling salt on this paper. Washington, nice. Didn't know that you still have the same effect. No, so what you're doing when you dry it, you're basically freezing the frame for the most part with the salt. Like if you left this salt on here, like if it was a really, really good mix of paint and water, if you left the salt on there and didn't dry it, it would be a bigger effect. Now it won't like cover the entire page, but it will do like more than this. So wherever you start drying it, you're just kind of freezing the effect where it's at. Let's have some fun with the liner brush while we're at it. I'm gonna take that brown mix. Don't mind the noises, that's just me moving the camera. Washington was so fun for me, dude. God, I miss the coffee so much. It's where I won my first blue ribbon too. Let's grab a few. They're just some little light scratch marks for these trees down here. Some taller ones. And I'm kind of just letting it dance how it wants for the most part. See it better now on my phone's landscape. Yeah, that's why I like YouTube a lot. It's because it's got that ultra wide effect. A few more little dark spots in here. Loosen it up a little bit more on them. Not everyone has to start from the bottom because these trees kind of do their own thing for the most part. I'm glad you're back, Fanny. Maybe a few little spots up here. You can even get away with a few more little brush strokes. Bring out some of those little spots there. Fanny, you knew all day we were doing this live, and you're gonna update your app now? Unbelievable. Alright, let's grab some more of that sepia here. All I'm gonna do is kind of brush in a few of the more little harsh tones. And let the liner do a lot. The liner keeps me loose. If you don't have a liner, I won't tell you to get this exact one, but I like the springiness of it. It kind of just lets me dance around. Yeah, that Naples kind of took it in a different direction. I'm fine with it though. We could always turn it around, honestly. I can neutralize that Naples a little bit with some purple, which I might end up doing. It's because it does kind of look like a Saharan desert. Maybe a little bit of that light brown. Just kind of a mid-tone of that dark. The salt's off the paper. I got the salt off, Annie. Let's get a little bit of that glacier blue. I'm going to water it down, plus I'm going to put it into that light brown a little bit. Give us a little bit of a darker tone. There's a few little spots towards the top. Hi guys, I have no idea what username will pop up in this app. Gincora. Yeah, it does kind of feel like a weed field. But I'm telling you, we can take this back, I think. What I'm gonna do is throw that ultramarine back into that carmine. That is extremely too pink. Tracy still left one on the paper. No. I took the salt off. I rubbed all the salt off. Yeah, I'm loving that glacier too, honestly. A lot. Now, I don't know if I want to wet this or not. Yeah, no white gouache for me. I'm not liking. I don't even know where mine's at, if I'm being honest. This is gonna look awfully kind of crazy. I almost want to throw in that glacier blue, kind of dull that down a little bit. It's gonna be a super bright purple. Maybe we can get away with a few more of these little shadows here. Take this down in here. And then we'll take big brush guy and throw some of these shadow marks. I mean, it still kind of looks like a desert, but really just trying to take away a little bit of that purple. Go a little bit thicker on some of these shadows. Their paints are so pigmented, dude. Like, so pigmented. I do want to keep some of that white space too. Connect this guy in. And more water. It's like the light's coming in through here is what I'm trying to go for. You know what I'm saying? Like the sun's hitting that snow, maybe? I do feel like we need to cut off that whole bottom with that purple just to make it make sense. There we go. That looks a bit better there. And then a little bit more mixture of that. Lean it a little bit more blue. Cover her up a little bit. Try to simulate. Why is all this paint splashing back on me? Okay, I'm totally cool with that. I didn't get the salt effect I wanted, but I got kind of a cool light effect that I don't normally do with that backside. Sunny snow. It does shine on it, damn it. I do feel like it's missing something, and I'm not going to say a Santa Claus or a snowman, but something for sure. I'm Tasmania. Stop it. No Gotham here. I know we could do. We could throw some texture in the foreground. Just a little bit of texture. A wooden fence? I do be liking me some wooden fences, dude. Just where though? I know what we could do. We could create some perspective here. Might work. I think I got this. I think I know where I want this to go. Some Bigfoot? Dude, y'all had some of the coolest fucking Bigfoot stuff. Like, I got a few magnets, a couple shirts. That was really cool, actually. Let's get this dry before we sketch in any kind of fence, though. Highland cow? Is that the emo cows? Why do I feel like that's the emo cows? Yeah, please share a picture of that. I don't think I've ever painted one. A deer? I wonder if I can get away with that Bigfoot. I almost want to sneak the Bigfoot in the trees. Just to have them in there for us, you know? Yeah, we all know it's an emo cow. I don't want to hear it. That poor cow has been painted a billion times. Pick of a Highland cow? Yeah, send one. I'm down. Alright, let's draw a fence in here at least. What we'll do is we'll create a little bit of perspective. Maybe a little bit bigger here. A crack on this guy. And we can draw maybe a little post here. And then maybe even littler one around here. And we could do a little barbed wire. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool, actually. Please do. All right, we can probably get away with still using the same two brushes. We'll just go kind of dark into that purple with that sepia. Maybe a little bit more permanent carmine to that. Kind of like a reddish brown. What we'll do is go from left to right. So let's put a little spot here for this little fence post. And being kind of loose with it, like we have been for the rest of the painting. And this small guy. All right, that's good for me there. Maybe a little bit of blue into that same brown mixture. Create a little fun. And what I'll do is take that brown. Shadows look like they're kind of coming this way anyway, so grab this little shadow end off. Do want to lighten that just a little bit. All right, cool with that one. We got a little bit more brush on this guy. So we can take the liner brush. I think Mel's got control of the radio now. And I'll water down that a little bit. All I'm going to do is kind of show that shadow of that wire. All right, I dig that a lot. Maybe a few more little spots. Show off a little bit of that grass, some of that dark. I'll brush the grass. This is the Belle Aqua from Silver. It's probably my favorite liner. The black velvets are really good. This one's got a little bit more spring to it, so I like it for like faster lines like that. Connect this guy a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get away with it or not, but we might try. That'll be our Bigfoot there. Just a little small guy walking. Thank you mentioned it in my video tonight. Yeah, for sure. The white area kind of looks like cows. I could probably get away with something like that. I'm gonna leave it where it's at, just because I like where it's at. I think any more to it, and we're kind of playing around too much. Yeah, looking at it on the screen, I'm okay with it. All right, and that's probably going to be it for the YouTube. time is it? 10:30? Do I see you guys at TikTok at 11? So 30 minutes. And go on there and cause some trouble. Zombies. I'm not sad about it. I got salt all over my shorts. This is great. All right, I'm blaming Shannon on that one. Anyways, this will be posted straight to Patreon, which is good, which means I don't have to edit shit. Which is nice for me because I do have 2 children and a house to take care of. So these are the 2 that we did. In what, an hour and a half? Oh yeah, we do have to do the triangle tree, don't we? I'm really liking these paints, y'all. I'm being honest. Yeah, me too. I feel like the purple added like a good light to it. Like it definitely neutralized that yellow. The Naples was a mistake, if I'm being honest. The Naples, I thought I could get away with some kind of sunny kind of look to it. It ended up looking Saharan, like really sunny. So that purple neutralized it a little bit. And it may not be a winter scene, but it's definitely not a fall or a Saharan scene. Anyways, mucho love. Thank you guys for hanging out. We're going to do more of these. I'm going to stick away from TikTok for the most part. The only reason why I want to go on there tonight is because I got some trouble to make. But yeah, see you guys there in 30 minutes. Don't be late.